Listen
More
to
than
this.
40 worshippers
The
killed
United
after an
States
attack
has
on a
gotten
church
involved
in
in the conflict between Israel and Hamas.
Researchers say Americans are having fewer.
Started an OnlyFans.
I heard you made $1 million.
I've been to
in
a couple
day.
Diddy parties.
This is a holy rebellion. This is a holy rebellion. This is a holy rebellion. They think that I am a hellion, but no. This is a holy rebellion. Jesus said that the world gonna hate me, so why would I want it to love me? They all Judas, they gonna betray me, and it doesn't bug me. I gotta stay faithful to God. I gotta be true to the King. I can't put on a facade. I'm one of the few that'll swing. Tell me, what do you know about working your butt off and losing it all? They ban me, they say I'm taboo, but I gotta stay true to the call. But most of them working for Satan, and that's just my view of the fall. Look, I got a past and God used it. I'm new, but I used to be Saul. Look, if the world going this way, then I'm going against it. Ain't pulling no punches, I'm packing the gun. This is fun, if I said it, I meant it. The Bible, you know I defend it. All of these rappers are kept, they pretending. Satan show up, and they get defended. And I have been sent here to end it. You sit at the table with God, then you making deals with the devil. Y'all missing the mark. Like and I mix with the dark, so why you go click with the pigs in the yard? Look, I carry a blick from my guard, but they say I'm Christian, I cannot be armed. Don't think you special, you cannot be harmed. The devil is bad, like how Adam got charmed. Look, I don't belong to this world, I am hated for telling the truth, but I'll never be quiet. I'm just trying to give me some fruit. I don't wanna be part of your group, I don't wanna be part of your clan. I wanna grow, but I want some of my soldiers to get to 1 million. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose it? So this is the holy rebellion.
Damn. Is this new? Oh snap, I haven't heard this yet.
Look, okay, I am not a Gemini, I am not a Cancer. Can you be a white witch? Do you want the answer? No. And Satan really got you twisted with the yoga. When I tell you it's demonic, all you women going loca. You burn a sage, but that will make the devil flee. Making demons manifest, I'm guessing.
This is called witchcraft.
It's my specialty, you playing with the fire, and that gon' be your penalty. My God is the highest, something that your God will never be. I see you witches on the gram. You got the blood of chickens, I got the blood of the lamb. So get your candles lit, send me your best candidate. I'm the rap evangelist, I trample on the devil's plan. I'm actually here to cancel it. Look, you got a crystal, well I got the one that made it. Matter of fact, I got a pistol, and Jesus is okay with it. Look, you can send your curses, but the blood of Jesus breaking it. Devil, this my terror.
You got a crystal, but I got the one who made it. I got a pistol, and Jesus, he's okay with it.
Look, you got a crystal, well I got the one that made it. Matter of fact, I got a pistol, and Jesus is okay with it. Look, you can send your curses, but the blood of Jesus break my territory. You ain't gonna be taking it. God against the devil, that's a mismatch. He threw him out of heaven, that's a whiplash. I'm bagging on the devil, that's a diss track. Rebel against the Lord, and that is witchcraft. Witchcraft, that is witchcraft. I'm a son of God, ain't running from your witchcraft. Witchcraft, that is witchcraft. Rebel against the Lord, and that is witchcraft.
All you warlocks and witches gonna burn in hell. And you listening to that music is how they cast the spells. Identify with these horoscopes as witchcraft as well. I gotta expose it cause these other rappers tuck they tail. You getting drunk on liquor, why you think they call them spirits? And burning sage don't get rid of evil unless some visit. Sinners movie got the black community promoting witches. First class seats to hell and all y'all punching tickets. Your favorite rappers mocking God and Christians ignore it. As long as it sound good, you go and support it. But Satan come as an angel of light and you endorse it. Tyson, I'm not done. Let's make them mad before you start the chorus. How you Christian, but you out here saying you a Taurus? The wages of sin is death, homie. Can you afford it? You trade spirits through fornication. I can't ignore it. Cause then God gives you a baby just for you to abort it.
God against the devil, that's a mismatch. He threw him out of heaven, that's a whiplash. I'm bagging on the devil, that's a diss track. Rebel against the Lord, and that is witchcraft. Witchcraft, that is witchcraft. I'm a son of God, ain't running from your witchcraft. Witchcraft, that is witchcraft. Rebel against the Lord, and that is witchcraft.
We don't do the zodiacs, we chopping down the idols. The people feeling entitled, put their flesh over their Bibles. How you claim to know God when you're caught up in a cycle? You can't keep on sinning, dog, let me tell you this is vital. A revival in your city, all these witches getting kicked out. Burn tarot cards on the boulevards, idols ripped down. I don't knock on wood or fingers crossed, I can't play around. These superstitions got pagan roots, what can you say now? Got these demons scared too, this a devil diss track. Double-edged sword on me, make a demon get back. Like Tyson said, really this right here a mismatch. It's God's side versus the other side, you can't flip that. Look at all these witches on the stage, trying to put you in a trance, every word that they say. Jesus coming back, it's gonna be a bad day for these witches. He won't come to bring the peace, but to finally handle business.
God against the devil, that's a mismatch. He threw him out of heaven, that's a whiplash. I'm bagging on the devil, that's a diss track. Rebel against the Lord, and that is witchcraft. Witchcraft, that is witchcraft. I'm a son of God, ain't running from your witchcraft. Witchcraft, that is witchcraft. Rebel against the Lord, and that is witchcraft.
So I think this new album dropped like 6 days ago. I was looking for these songs to pop up and they weren't popping up, and now they are. I haven't heard any of these songs. So we're doing a little listen party before we get started to some of the new songs from Tyson James' new album, Holy Rebellion. So far, I'm liking it. This one I haven't heard yet. Let's hear this one. Not that. That's an ad. I see the raid. Thank you, Mike Ball. We're listening to Tyson James' album, new album dropped last week, and I haven't heard any of these songs. So before I start reading some more from Job, we're just listening to some of these. I'm reviewing some songs.
Your body up because you were God's creation, but it's YOLO.
I think it's funny when people mock me because I say you serve either God or Satan, and then they mock me and they make jokes about it. That's funny.
Right? Surely I'ma turn away.
You're not mocking me, you're mocking Jesus when you mock that.
I'll do it when I'm 38, but many die in early age and they don't see them.
Dang, the whole album is out now. I found them. I don't know why I couldn't find these before. We'll listen to one more. God Over Government. High Res has a song called God Over Government. Or no, wait. Yeah, he's got one called Faith Over Fear, and he's got one called God Over Government. Tyson has turned away from politics. I think because he's not happy with Trump and the whole Epstein stuff. He's done with Trump. He's done with politics. But he's still 2A. You know, still Christian. It's called God Over Government. Last one.
Yeah, these politicians ain't working for us. They high up on that hog and we just earning a buck. I ain't Republican, I gotta say that circle is sus. You messing with the holy God and he gon' turn you to dust. That's why it's God over government. Oh, you ain't know? Paula White, she ain't nothing but a new age show. She headed to the cooker, she gon' soup slow. I do pray, but I will let that two-way blow. And I know what you gon' say, that ain't Christian. But y'all don't read the Bible, so that ain't Christian. You put your faith in the man, so gotta trust the plan, bro. It's 4D chess, keep tap dancing like you Sambo. It's God over everything around me. Man, it's gonna fail us, and I'ma say it proudly. Listen, this world ain't got nothing on my Lord, and he coming back, you for him or against him. He is Jesus, he the Son of Man. It's God over government. I'm hopping off the mothership.
Not my favorite beat. I don't know. The beat on this one's kind of weird.
I'm chopping up another hit, hotter than the oven. It's God over government. Okay, it's God over government. I'm hopping off the mothership.
What up, King?
I'm chopping up another hit, hotter than the oven. It's God over government. I'm not Democrat or Republican. I'm just spitting facts for the fun of it. Jesus coming back to uncover it. This This my squad, and it's God over government. Hey, it's God over government. He coming with the rod, you know God will uncover it. I made a promise.
It'll be interesting to see if he like loses subscribers over this switch, because he built his name off of Christian MAGA rap, and now he's going this anti-politic. I don't think it's like anarchy. He's just sick of seeing both sides, the mess from both sides, probably.
In the covenant to put God first. Yes, God over government. Ain't putting my faith in a system that is broken. Plus, I got a couple questions. I'ma list them in the open. First off, where that list? I'm consistent with the notion that the government's against us. They gon' listen to the chosen. So, are you
See, where that list?
awake yet? That list was a break check. Turns out I think the whole government's a train wreck. They cover up the truth that's at the bottom of the lake bed, sending money to the nations, and it's coming out your paycheck. This is not my home. We live in.
You know what nations he talking about.
In a dome, we slaves to a system that don't listen to my tone. And everyone's a ditty, pay a milli for a clone. And I'm feeling kinda weary, all these theories in my dome. We gon' find out who the real and the fake. I'm only bowing to God, I'll never kneel to the snake. I can see when you appeal to the base. A snake with two heads, I got my heel in his face. It's God over government. I'm hopping off the mothership. Chopping up another hit, hotter than the oven. It's God over government. Okay, it's God over government. I'm hopping off the mothership. I'm chopping up another hit, hotter than the oven. It's God over government. I'm not Democrat or Republican. I'm just spitting facts for the fun of it. Jesus coming back to uncover it. This my squad, and it's God over government. Hey. It's God over government, he coming with the rod, you know God will uncover it. I made a promise in the covenant to put God first. It's God over government.
I think Holy Rebellion's the best so far, and the other one, the Charlie song's really good. All right, guys. What's up? It's morning Bible reading time. We're in the poetry part of Job, so there's going to be a lot of deep allegory and poetry and metaphor in these verses. Last time, Eliphaz spoke to Job, offered his accusation, playing the accuser. Job refutes it. Now Bildad the Shuhite, the shortest guy in the Bible, Bildad the Shuhite, is going to step in, and he's going to offer some words. And then Zophar will throw some words in there. And they're all pretty much pointing fingers at Job. They're all pretty much saying, well, you did this wrong, and this is why this is happening. Or maybe you deserve it. And Job just keeps saying, why? I don't deserve it. What have I done? Why? He never turns on God, but he does start to question. He asks questions. He doesn't say, God, you're not real for letting this happen to me. He says, God, why was I ever born? Wouldn't it have been better if I had never been born? Yes, Bildad the Shuhite. Bildad the Shuhite. So that's where we're at. He's talking now. Job's already lost his family. He's lost all his goats. You see that in the narrative in the first 4 chapters. Then we switch to poetic writing for the whole middle chunk of Job until we get to the narrative at the end. The last, I think, 4 chapters or so. But the middle, 36 chapters is all poetry of Job going through these conversations with his friends. Yeah, hit that like button. All right. And if y'all ain't ever been here for this, I'm not a preacher. I'm not a teacher. I'm just a guy who wanted to take some time out of the day to read the Bible more frequently. And so I figured I might as well stream while I do it. And I'll read it out loud, because when you read things out loud, it commits it to memory better, because you're You're reading it in your mind, you're saying it, and you're hearing it when you say it. So it's like all three types of learning: doing, seeing, and hearing at the same time. I'm not an authority. Sometimes I'm going to throw out different theories that may come from atheists or may come from Orthodox, may come from Catholics, may come from Protestants, what different people say about certain things. We dig into atheist arguments against the Bible. I'll throw out sometimes what I think, but again, I'm not God, I'm not an authority, I'm not a teacher, and I'm not a preacher. So let's go. All right. So remember, Shofar just made his claims. Job refutes them. Now Bildad's going to make some claims. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite and said, how long wilt thou speak these things? And how long shall the words of my mouth be like a strong wind? Doth God pervert judgment, or doth the Almighty pervert justice? If thy children have sinned against him, and he have cast them away for their transgression, if thou wouldest seek unto God betimes, and make thy supplication to the Almighty, if thou wert pure and upright, surely now he would awake for thee, and make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous. So he's saying, if you were a good man, Job, God would fix this right now. So obviously you did something wrong. Though thy beginning was small, yet thy latter end should greatly increase. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow. That's deep. Shall not they teach thee and tell thee, and utter words out of their heart? Can the rush grow up without mire? Can the flag grow without water? Whilst it is yet in his greatness, and not cut down, it withereth before any other herb. So are the paths of all that forget God, and the hypocrite's hope shall perish. Whose hope shall be cut off, and whose trust shall be a spider's web? He shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. He shall hold it fast, but it shall not endure. He is green before the sun, and his branch shooteth forth in his garden. His roots are wrapped about the heap, and seeth the place of stones. Seeth the place of stones. I think that means a grave. Basically, he's saying you're cursed, Job, for your father's sins, for your sins. Your kids are cursed for their sins and for your sins. That's why this is happening, Job. It's a curse. If he destroy him from his place, then it shall deny him, saying, I have not seen thee. Behold, this is the joy of his way, and out of the earth shall others grow. Behold, God will not cast away a perfect man, neither will he help the evildoers. Till he fill thy mouth with laughing, and thy lips with rejoicing, they that hate thee shall be clothed with shame, and the dwelling place of the wicked shall come to naught. Oh, we got a flat earth verse coming up. Chapter 9. Then Job answered and said, I know it is so of a truth, but how should man be just with God? If he will contend with him, he cannot answer him one of 1,000. He is wise in heart and mighty in strength, who hath hardened himself against him, and who hath hardened himself against him and hath prospered? Which removeth the mountains, and they know not, which overturneth them in his anger, which shaketh the earth out of her place, and the pillars thereof tremble, which commandeth the sun, and it riseth not, and sealeth up the stars. Flat earthers love that verse. Those two verses, 6 and 7 there. The earth on its pillars and trembling, and it's shaking in its place and trembling on its pillars. And what's crazy is people will take that literally, not realizing that this whole section of Job is poetic writing. Like, it's metaphor after metaphor after metaphor. And I don't know what 90% of it means. You get a broad context of what it all means together, what they're saying. But each one individually, to go through each metaphor individually and figure out what it means is tough. People with more time and brain power than myself have done it. But the flat earthers will take that and they'll say, oh, the earth is square. It's on pillars. Says it right there in the Bible. Okay, what you mean in Job? What else does it say in Job? Let's see. God removes mountains and flips them over. When's he done that? He's levitated a mountain and flipped it upside down. I haven't seen him do that. I don't know if that's ever happened. Which alone spreadeth out the heavens and treadeth upon the waves of the sea. Treads on the waves of the sea. Sounds like a metaphor. Which maketh Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades, and the chambers of the south. He's talking about the stars in heaven. And God will talk about this too, how he fastens Orion's belt. He hangs the stars in the sky. Which doeth great things past finding out, yea, and wonders without number. Lo, he goeth by me, and I see him not. He passeth on also, but I perceive him not. Behold, he taketh away. Who can hinder him? Who will say unto him, what doest thou? If God will not withdraw his anger, the proud helpers do stoop under him. How much less shall I answer him, and choose out of my words to reason with him? Whom, though I were righteous, yet would I not answer, but I would make supplication to my judge. If I had called, and he had answered me, yet would I not believe that he had hearkened unto my voice. For he breaketh me with a tempest, and multiplied my wounds without cause. He will not suffer me to take my breath, but filleth me with bitterness. If I speak of strength, lo, he is strong. And if of judgment, who shall set me a time to plead? If I speak of strength, lo, he is strong. And if of judgment, who shall set me a time to plead? If I justify myself, mine own mouth shall condemn me. If I say I am perfect, it shall also prove me perverse. Though I were perfect, yet would I not know my soul. I would despise my life. This is one thing thereof I said it. He destroyeth the perfect and the wicked. If the scourge slay suddenly, he will laugh at the trial of the innocent. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Now my days are swifter than a post. They flee away. They see no good. They are passed away as the swift ships, as the eagle that hasteth to the prey. Passed away as the swift ships, as the eagle that hasteth to the prey. The eagle flies out of the sky and scoops up the water. Who controls that? God controls that. If I say, I will forget my complaint, I will leave off my heaviness and comfort myself. I am afraid of all my sorrows. I know that thou wilt not hold me innocent. If I be wicked, why then labor I in vain? If I wash myself with snow water, and make my hands never so clean, yet shalt thou plunge me in the ditch, and mine own clothes shall abhor me. Even if I cleaned up myself and washed all the dirt off myself, God would make me fall in the mud. God would plunge me into a ditch and I'd be covered in mud 5 minutes later. For he is not a man, as I am, that I should answer him, and we should come together in judgment. That's deep. I think a lot of Christians need to hear that. For he is not a man, as I am, that I should answer him, and we should come together in judgment. Neither is there any days man betwixt us. Neither is there any days 8. What do they mean here? Empire. Neither is there any days. Neither is there any umpire man betwixt us that might lay his hand upon us both. So there's no he's saying there's no mediator. Or there's no umpire to sit and judge between man and God. Let him take his rod away from me, and let not his fear terrify me. Then would I speak and not fear him, but it is not so with me. So he's saying he's not going to speak up against God while he's going through all this stuff, because he fears God. He doesn't know why this is happening to him, but he's not going to speak up against God. He's not going to say, "Why'd you do this to me, God?" Like, he doesn't say that. Chapter 10. My soul is weary of my life. I will leave my complaint upon myself. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul. I will say unto God, do not condemn me. Show me wherefore thou contendest with me. Is it good unto thee that thou shouldest oppress, that thou shouldest despise the work of thine hands, and shine upon the counsel of the wicked? Hast thou eyes of flesh, or seest thou as man seeth? Are thy days as the days of man? Are thy years as man's days? That thou inquirest after mine iniquity and searchest after my sin. Thou knowest that I am not wicked, and there is none that can deliver out of thine hand. Thine hands have made me and fashioned me together round about, yet thou dost destroy me. Remember, I beseech thee, that thou hast made me as the clay, and wilt thou bring me into the dust again? Hast thou not poured me out as milk and curdled me like cheese? I guess we're all milk and cheese now. If we're taking everything in Job literally. Thou hast clothed me with skin and flesh, and hast fenced me with bones and sinews. Thou hast granted me life and favor, and thy visitation hath preserved my spirit. And these things hast thou hid in thine heart. I know that this is with thee. If I sin, then thou markest me, and thou wilt not acquit me from mine iniquity. If I be wicked, woe unto me. And if I be righteous, yet will I not lift up my head. I am full of confusion, therefore see thou mine afflictions. For it increaseth, thou huntest me as a fierce lion, and again thou showest thyself marvelous upon me. Thou renewest thy witnesses against me, and increaseth thine indignation upon me. Changes and war are against me. Wherefore then hast thou brought me forth out of the womb? Oh, that I had given up the ghost, and no eye had seen me. He's saying, why was I born? It would have been better if I hadn't been born. I should have been as though I had not been. I should have been carried from the womb to the grave. Are not my days few? Cease then, and let me alone, that I may take comfort a little. Before I go, whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death, a land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness. So there's Job's response to Bildad. Now let's hear from Zophar. I'm sure he's got something brilliant to say. Guess this was earlier. Thought it was still active. I should obtain to dead toll. Yeah, I heard about that. And I heard about another. There's another one that happened yesterday too, or last night. Yeah, it's going crazy. Stuff's going crazy in America. That's all right though. We're gonna be all right. Chapter 11. Then answered Zophar, the Naamathite, and said, should not the multitude of words be answered? And should a man full of talk be justified? Should thy lies make men hold their peace? And when thou mockest, shall no man make thee ashamed? For thou hast said, my doctrine is pure, and I am clean in thine eyes. But oh, that God would speak and open his lips against thee, and that he would show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is. Know therefore that God exacteth of thee less than thine iniquity deserveth. So he's saying you deserve even worse than this, Job. You think this is bad, you deserve worse. Canst thou by searching find out God? Canst thou find out the Almighty unto perfection? It is as high as heaven, what canst thou do? Deeper than hell, what canst thou know? The measure thereof is longer than the earth and broader than the sea. If he cut off and shut up or gather together, then who can hinder him? For he knoweth vain men. He seeth wickedness also. Will he not then consider it? For vain men would be wise, though man be born like a wild ass's colt. If thou prepare thine heart and stretch out thine hands toward him, if iniquity be in thine hand, put it far away, and let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacles. For then shalt thou lift up thy face without spot, yea, thou shalt be steadfast, and shalt not fear, because thou shalt forget thy misery, and remember it as waters that pass away. And thine age shall be clearer than the noonday. Thou shalt shine forth, thou shalt be as the morning. And thou shalt be secure, because there is hope. Yea, thou shalt dig about thee, and thou shalt take thy rest in safety. And thou shalt lie down, and none shall make thee afraid. Yea, many shall make suit unto thee. But the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape, and their hope shall be as the giving up of the ghost. So now Job is going to answer Zophar. And Job answered and said, No doubt, but ye are the people, and wisdom shall die with you. But I have understanding as well as you. I am not inferior to you. Yea, who knoweth not such things as these? I am as one mocked of his neighbor, who calleth upon God, and he answereth him. The just upright man is laughed to scorn. He that is ready to slip with his feet is as a lamp despised in the thought of him that is at ease. The tabernacles of robbers prosper, and they that provoke God are secure, unto whose hand God bringeth abundantly. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee. Who knoweth not in all these that the hand of the Lord hath wrought this? In whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind? Doth not the ear try words, and the mouth taste his meat? With the ancient is wisdom, and in length of days understanding. With him is wisdom and strength. He hath counsel and understanding. Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man, and there can be no opening. Behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry up. Also he sendeth them out, and they overturn the earth. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. The deceived and the deceiver are his. He leadeth counselors away spoiled, and maketh the judges fools. He looseth the bond of kings, and girdeth their loins with a girdle. He leadeth princes away spoiled, and overthroweth the mighty. He removeth away the speech of the trusty, and taketh away the understanding of the age. He poureth contempt upon princes, and weakeneth the strength of the mighty. He discovereth deep things out of the darkness, and bringeth out to light the shadow of death. He increaseth the nations, and destroyeth them. He enlargeth the nations, and straighteneth them again. He taketh away the heart of the chief of the people of the earth, and causes them to wander in wilderness where there is no way. They grope in the dark without light, and he maketh them to stagger like a drunken man. Sounding like Job saying that God controls the good and the evil, the good and the bad. That's interesting. But what do I know? It's just what it seems like. What up, Chuck? Chapter 13. This is still Job talking. Lo, mine eye hath seen all this, mine ear hath heard and understood it. What ye know, the same do I know also. I am not inferior unto you. Surely I would speak to the Almighty, and I desire to reason with God. But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. Oh, that ye would altogether hold your peace, and it should be your wisdom. Hear now my reasoning, and hearken to the pleadings of my lips. Will ye speak wickedly for God, and talk deceitfully for him? Will ye accept his person? Will ye contend for God? Is it good that he should search you out? Or as one man mocketh another, do ye so mock him? He will surely reprove you, if ye do secretly accept persons. Shall not his excellency make you afraid, and his dread fall upon you? He will surely reprove you if ye do secretly accept persons. I'm not sure what that means. Shall not his excellency make you feel afraid, and his dread fall upon you? Your remembrances are like unto ashes, your bodies to bodies of clay. Hold your peace, let me alone, that I may speak, and let come on me what will. Wherefore do I take my flesh in my teeth, and put my life in my hand? Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain my own ways before him. And his own ways are righteous ways. Even though he's being punished, or not punished, but he's going through some rough patches, he says he's going to maintain his ways. And even though he's being slain by God, he still will trust in God. He also shall be my salvation, for an hypocrite shall not come before him. Hear diligently my speech and my declaration with your ears. Behold now, I have ordered my cause. I know that I shall be justified. Who is he that will plead with me? For now, if I hold my tongue, I shall give up the ghost. Only do not two things unto me, then will I not hide myself from thee. Withdraw thine hand far from me, and let not thy dread make me afraid. He says he only asks two things of God. Don't take your hand away from me, and don't let your anger cause me the wrong type of fear. Not the reverence fear, but like, the worldly fear where he hides from God. Let not thy dread make me afraid. Then call thou, and I will answer, or let me speak, and answer thou me. How many are mine iniquities and sins? Make me to know my transgressions and my sin. Wherefore hidest thou thine face, and holdest me for thine enemy? Wilt thou break a leaf driven to and fro, and wilt thou pursue the dry stubble? For thou writest bitter things against me, and makest me to process the iniquities of my youth. Thou puttest my feet also in the stocks, and lookest narrowly unto all my paths. Thou settest a print upon the heels of my feet. And he, as a rotten thing, consumeth as a garment that is moth eaten. When is it? Did Zophar already? Oh, yeah, Zophar already talked. Okay. Job has one more chapter he's going to go on for. And then I want to then it's going to go through the whole cycle of Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar are each going to make a second critique, and Job's going to respond. So this happens, I think, 3 times with each of them. So like 9 times in total, where it goes back and forth between Job and then his friend, and then Job and then his other friend, and then Job and then his other friend. And I think this goes on 6 or 9 times in total, until eventually God shows up. But for now, we're just going through the friends. Where am I on? Chapter 14. Man that is born of a woman is of few days and full of trouble. Oh, dang. Well, that's not good news. Yeah, people think I'm just making stuff up when I talk about being born of the flesh of the woman and then being born again of the spirit. He cometh forth like a flower and is cut down. He fleeth also as a shadow and continueth not. And dost thou open thine eyes upon such an one, and bringest me into judgment with thee? Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. That's interesting. His days are determined. It's like God knows when you're going to die before you were ever born. It's wild. Turn from him that he may rest till he shall accomplish as an hireling his day. For there is hope of a tree. If it be cut down, that it will sprout again, and that the tender branch thereof will not cease. Though the root thereof wax old in the earth, and the stock thereof die in the ground, yet through the scent of water it will bud, and bring forth boughs like a plant. But man dieth and wasteth away, yet man giveth up the ghost, and where is he? As the waters fail from the sea, and the flood decayeth and drieth up, so man lieth down and riseth not. Till the heavens be no more, they shall not awake, nor be raised out of their sleep. Oh, that thou wouldest hide me in the grave, that thou wouldest keep me secret until thy wrath be past, that thou wouldest appoint me a set time and remember me. It's a little bit of a prophecy of Jesus coming, and All Saints Day, the saints rising once Jesus defeats evil. If a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time will I wait till my change come. Thou shalt call, and I will answer thee. Thou wilt have a desire to the work of thine hands. For now thou numberest my steps. Dost thou not watch over my sin? My transgression is sealed up in a bag, and thou sewest up mine iniquity. And surely the mountain falling cometh to naught, and the rock is removed out of his place. The waters wear the stones. The waters wear the stones. Thou washest away the things which grow out of the dust of the earth, and thou destroyest the hope of man. Thou prevailest forever against him, and he passeth. Thou changest his countenance, and sendest him away. His sons come to honor, and he knoweth it not, and they are brought low, but he perceiveth it not of them. But his flesh upon him shall have pain, and his soul within him shall mourn. And now we're back to Eliphaz. I want to read a little summary of 4 through 14. So a little catch up. And I did a video on this a while ago. I just don't remember. Job 4 through 14. So Eliphaz describes a terrifying spiritual vision he had about humanity's sinfulness and inability to be righteous before God. He uses the vision to argue that Job's suffering is a direct result of his own sin, and that God cannot be expected to be just if humans are not righteous. Subsequent verses in chapter 4 detail the ongoing debate between Job and his friends about the nature of suffering and God's justice. Terror and trembling. Eliphaz recounts how a vision caused him intense fear and made his bones shake, a common human reaction to the awe and power of God's presence. A divine vision, a spirit appeared, questioned the perfect righteousness of human, and stated that God doesn't trust his servants and that even angels can err. Human frailty. The vision emphasizes the deeply flawed nature of humans, who are likened to the fragile house of clay with foundations in the dust easily broken. Mortals are perishing in ignorance. Mortals are described as perishing without wisdom or understanding, their life being fleeting and easily destroyed. Eliphaz's theological... Yeah, Eliphaz makes a theological one. I think Bildad's was more philosophical, and then Zophar's is more practical. I'm pretty sure Zophar is like a lawman. I went into all this deeper in the video I did, because each of them kind of represents a certain side. Like, one is more philosophical, one's more theological, one's more practical. Foundation for debate. Eliphaz's speech, supported by a spiritual encounter, sets the stage. First cycle of speeches, chapters 4 through 14, where Job will defend his innocence against his friend's accusation. First cycle of speeches. That's what I want to look for. First cycle of speeches. I just want like a summary. I've been explaining them as I'm reading them, but I want to, read something from somebody smarter than me, so nobody can say I'm not doing some studying thyself approved instead of just making up my own interpretations. Initial debate between Grieve and Job and his three friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. Shocked by Job's words, attempts to console and advise. Okay, so Eliphaz suggests that the innocent do not suffer and the wicked do. He believes Job must have committed some hidden sin and should seek God's forgiveness to restore his prosperity. Bildad extends Eliphaz's argument by appealing to traditional wisdom and natural law. He asserts that God is just and blesses the righteous while punishing the wicked, implying Job's misfortune is a result of his actions. So see, we say Eliphaz giving the theological argument, I had a vision of the world being destroyed, and God talked to me, Job, and he told me, you're only suffering because you did something not righteous. That's why you're suffering right now. Only the unrighteous suffer because God is just. And then Bildad kind of builds on this, but he takes a more philosophical stance, talking about natural law, wisdom, ideas like this. But pretty much saying the same thing. God's actions are a result of Job's actions. Zophar goes further, directly accusing Job of being deceitful and suggesting his punishment is not severe enough for his alleged transgressions. And that's what we just read that, and that's what I said too. He emphasizes God's unsearchable wisdom and insists that Job must confess his hidden sin to receive mercy. So Job's doing something secretly. So Zophar is the pessimist here. Zophar's like, Job, this isn't even bad enough. You deserve way worse. You must be a horrible guy, and you're keeping it secret. Ask for forgiveness, Job. Job's rebuttals. In each instance, Job refutes his friends' arguments. He defends his innocence, challenges them to point out any specific sin, and expresses his desire to have his case heard by God. He's saying, I just want God to listen to me. Why is this happening? I'm not going to turn from him. All I ask is that he hear my plead and that his wrath doesn't get so bad that I turn away from him. See, Job doesn't even know if what's going to happen. That's what I was talking about. Rock bottom. You always think, oh, I'm at rock bottom. It couldn't get worse. It can get worse. Trust it can get worse. Theological debate. The first cycle establishes the central theological conflict of the book, the tension between the friends' belief in a simple, predictable system of retribution and Job's experience of undeserved suffering. So they're saying basic friendshianity, or what somebody called it? Niceanity. Basic, especially prosperity gospel people. Well, I go to church, I read the Bible, I pray, I do all the right things. I don't say bad words, I don't sin. I should be blessed. And then something bad happens to you. Why, God? Why? And you turn away from God and get all angry. This is the basic understanding. The deeper understanding, the deeper wisdom is when you realize everything that happens is part of God's plan. And it's above our pay grade to ask God why. Something catastrophic happens. God is the author of catastrophe just as much as he's the author of goodness. He created everything. And he knew the steps you were going to take before you ever took them. Now, people will go to they'll ask some crazy questions, some crazy reductio ad absurdum, but it's not absurd. It's what makes sense. They'll say, "Oh, so you mean abortion is God's plan?" Abortion could be God's plan. It could be God's plan that abortion comes along. People see how evil it is on the practical level. they see how evil it is and they rise up to stop it and make sure it never happens again. That could be part of the plan, yes. Foreshadowing, the dialogue sets the stage for the entire book, which explores the nature of suffering, the limits of human understanding of God, and the profound mystery of God's ways. Yep. So we're through the first cycle. Now we're going to get into the next cycle of debates. Where was I? I'm on 15. Maybe we'll save this because we're done with this first cycle. Maybe we'll do the second cycle of debates tomorrow. What time is it? It's only 10:47. We can go for a little while longer. It's still early. It definitely can get worse. Yes. Okay. We'll start the second phase of debates here. So Eliphaz is going again, chapter 15. Then answered Eliphaz the Temanite and said, should a wise man utter vain knowledge and fill his belly with the east wind? Should he reason with unprofitable talk, or with speeches wherewith he can do no good? Yes, thou casteth off fear and restrainedest prayer before God. For thy mouth uttereth thine iniquity, and thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. Thine own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yea, thine own lips testify against thee. Art thou the first man that was born, or wast thou made before the hills? Hast thou heard the secret of God, and dost thou restrain wisdom to thyself? What knowest thou that we know not? What understandest thou which is not in us? With us are both the gray-headed and very aged men, much elder than thy father. Are the consolations of God small with thee? Is there any secret thing with thee? What doth thine heart carry thee away? Why doth thine heart carry thee away? And what do thy eyes wink at? That thou turnest thy spirit against God, and lettest such words go out of thy mouth. What is man that he should be clean? And he which is born with a woman that he should be righteous? What is man that he should be clean? And he which is born of a woman that he should be righteous? Behold, he putteth no trust in his saints. Yea, the heavens are not clean in his sight. How much more abominable and filthy is man, which drinketh iniquity like water? I will show thee, hear me, and that which I've seen I will declare. Which wise men have told from their fathers and have not hid it? Unto whom alone the earth was given, and no stranger passed among them. The wicked man travaileth with pain all his days, and the number of his years is hidden to the oppressor. A dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity the destroyer shall come upon him. He believeth not that he shall return out of the darkness, and he is waited for of the sword. He wandereth abroad for bread, saying, where is it? He knoweth that the day of darkness is ready at his hand. Trouble and anguish shall make him afraid. They shall prevail against him as a king ready for the battle. For he stretcheth out his hand against God, and strengtheneth himself against the Almighty. He runneth upon him, even on his neck, upon the thick bosses of his bucklers. Because he covereth his face with his fatness, and maketh collops of fat on his flanks. And he dwelleth in desolate cities, and in houses which no man inhabiteth, which are ready to become heaps. He shall not be rich, neither shall his substance continue, neither shall he prolong the perfection thereof upon the earth. He shall not depart out of darkness. The flame shall dry up his branches, and by the breath of his mouth shall he go away. Let not him that is deceived trust in vanity, for vanity shall be his recompense. It shall be accomplished before his time, and his branch shall not be given. He shall shake off his unripe grape as the vine, and shall cast off his flower as the olives. For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery. They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit. I'll read one more chapter, and then I'll be dipping. Short stream today. Bobby? I don't know who that is. Chapter 16. Then Job answered and said, I have heard many such things. Miserable comforters are ye all. I've heard this before. You guys are miserable friends. You are not helping the situation. That's it. Shall vain words have an end? Or what emboldeneth thee, thou answerest? What emboldeneth thee that thou answerest? I also could speak as ye do. If your soul were in my soul's stead, I could heap up words against you and shake my head at you. But I would strengthen you with my mouth, and the moving of my lips should assuage your grief. Though I speak, my grief is not assuaged, and though I forbear, what am I eased? But now he hath made me weary. Thou hast made desolate all my company. He's saying, you guys are garbage friends. And thou hast filled me with wrinkles, which is a witness against me. And my leanness rising up in me beareth witness to my face. He teareth me in his wrath. He teareth me in his wrath who hateth me. He gnasheth upon me with his teeth. Mine enemy sharpeneth his eyes upon me. They have gaped upon me with their mouth. They have smitten me upon the cheek reproachfully. They have gathered themselves together against me. He's talking about his friends. They're real jerks. They're not helping. God hath delivered me to the ungodly and turned me over into the hands of the wicked. I was at ease, but he hath broken me asunder. He hath also taken me by the neck and shaken me to pieces and set me up for his mark. His archers compass me round about. See, does God really have archers standing around Joe shooting arrows at him? No, it's a metaphor. He cleaveth my reins asunder and doth not spare. He poureth out my gall upon the ground. He breaketh me with breach upon breach. He runneth upon me like a giant. I have sewed sackcloth upon my skin and defiled my horn in the dust. We learned about the horn and how the horns on Satan are actually, they're stealing that from Christians, and they're trying to destroy Christian symbols. The horns were a sign of, I forget, we talked about this a long time ago when we were talking about the tabernacle being built and how the Ark of the Covenant had horns on it. And in modern days, if you read that and you thought, all the pictures I see of the devil, he has horns on his head. You know, it's the smiley face with the two horns. And they think, well, why would God put horns on the Ark of the Covenant? Ark of the Covenant? Was God Satan? Some Gnostic gobbledygook about a demiurge. Why are there horns on the ark? Well, if you look into it, the horn was a symbol of life, and so it's later that modern people took the horns and put it on their images of Satan to try to twist. That's what Satan does. He'll take a little bit of truth and he'll twist it. So he'll put the horns on the images of the devil, and then people think horns are bad. So then if you see, you know, a description of the Ark of the Covenant has horns on it, you think God must have been evil. My face is foul with weeping, and on my eyelids is the shadow of death. Not for any injustice in mine hands, also my prayer is pure. O earth, cover not thou my blood, and let my cry have no place. Also now, behold my witnesses in heaven, and my record is on high. My friends scorn me, but mine eye poureth out tears unto God. Oh, that one might plead for a man with God, as a man pleadeth for his neighbor. When a few years are come, then I shall go the way whence I shall not return. I'll read one more because this is still Job talking. My breath is corrupt, my days are extinct, the graves are ready for me. Are there not mockers with me, and doth not mine eyes continue in their provocation? Lay down now, put me in a surety with thee.
Who is he that will strike hands with me? For thou hast hid their heart from understanding. Therefore shalt thou not exalt them. He that speaketh flattery to his friends, even the eyes of his children shall fail. He hath made me also a byword of the people, and aforetime I was as a tabret. Mine eye also is dim, my reason of sorrow, and all my members are as a shadow. Upright men shall be astonished at this, and the innocent shall stir up himself against the hypocrite. The righteous also shall hold on his way, and he that hath clean hands shall be stronger and stronger. But as for you all, do ye return and come now? For I cannot find one wise man among you. My days are past, my purposes are broken off, even the thoughts of my heart. They change the night into the day. The light is short because of darkness. If I wait, the grave is mine house. I have made my bed in the darkness. I have said to corruption, thou art my father, to the worm, thou art my mother and my sister. And where is now my hope? As for my hope, who shall see it? They shall go down to the bars of the pit when our rest together is in the dust. He's basically saying, I'm ready to die, but you guys are not helping. You guys are not righteous. You're accusing me of all these things that I haven't done, and you're not helping the situation. You're foolish. I don't see any wisdom in any of you, and now I'm just ready to die. If it's God's plan that I die, I'm ready for it. And that's what Job's saying. So we still have Bildad and Zohar in the second string of debates that they're going to have. We'll get to that tomorrow. Mike has like an entertaining news show, and he sent everybody here, and they're like, what is this? It's a Bible stream. But these are short morning stream. We're going through Job quickly, though. They're short chapters. I'm ready to get to Psalms, to be honest with you. You know, no stories. Just some good old-fashioned Psalms. There's a lot of Psalms. Psalms is a big book. How many are there? 140. I'm going to guess 144. 150. We're almost at Psalms, which means we're halfway through. We're halfway through. We're almost halfway through since starting this in February. I don't think I'm going to make it all the way through in 1 year. So we're a little behind. We should be a little farther by now, but I haven't been doing it 4 days a week like I planned. But we will get through it all. I ordered a book last night, The Art of Controversy from Schopenhauer. It's not super long, so once I read that, I'll let you know how that is. It's about learning how to win debates by using rhetoric. From Schopenhauer, who's a crazy nihilist. So should be an interesting little book. Anson, welcome. Why can't I see any? You're saying we have to have abortion to see that it's bad so that we can get rid of it? No, we don't have to. Well, we do have to because it's part of the plan. We do have it, right? So, how did that end up? You think there's a possible world where abortion wasn't a thing? I don't believe in possible worlds. I don't believe in alternate timelines. Fun to think about, though. Quantum What's the word where you can't die? Quantum immortality. One day we're going to have to talk about quantum immortality. That's a fun one. If you like possible worlds and alternate timelines and stuff and string theory and all that mess. It is fun to talk about, but it's just mess. Maybe we'll talk about quantum immortality one Monday night. But I got to go, guys. I got to get some sleep. I got my hotel room reserved for DebateCon. Now all that's left is I got to buy the plane ticket. So I got my hotel room reserved in the Crucible Crew block. It wasn't a lot cheaper. It was a little cheaper than going through, but I think it would have been cheaper for me to do some sort of package deal with my plane ticket and the hotel room. But I did it in the Crucible block of rooms that they've reserved. But I got my room reserved and paid for. Well, you pay when you get there, but I got the money put aside for the hotel room. So now I just need a plane ticket. We'll get that. We'll get that when I get paid in 2 weeks. That's when I'll buy the plane ticket. But no problem, Robert. Let's see. I'll send you over to Jim Bob. I don't know what he's talking about, but you guys can go hang out there. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the raid, Mike Ball. I appreciate it, even though it wasn't a long stream and it's probably not what your audience was wanting to hear. But thank you for the thought. It's the thought that counts. And everybody, if you didn't hit the like button, make sure you hit it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, this isn't all I do. If you came from Mike Ball stream and you like what he does, that's what I do on Monday nights. I do a news and current event weekly news show on Monday nights, the dreaded conservative show, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 to 9 Mountain Time, which is 5 to 8 Pacific, 8 to like 11 Eastern Time, every Monday night for more than 3 years now. And I never miss an episode. So, if you like his show and you came from there, subscribe and check out the Monday night show. And then also Friday nights and Saturday nights, I do streams all night, do panel hops, we do reactions to like videos, we do topics and little debates, bring your own debates, panels, gaming, pretty much all night, Friday and Saturday night, every week. But throughout the week, in the morning time, I do these little short Bible streams when I have time before I go to sleep. I work nights, so I'm about to go to bed. But after I get home from work, sometimes we do these little Bible streams. Sometimes before I go to work, we'll do little gaming streams. But really the main attraction is Monday night dreaded conservative show, Friday and Saturday night streaming all night. So can we just hang out and BS? What do you mean, in the chat? You can hang out and BS in the Discord whenever you want. No, I'm not just going to leave the chair up. We're not doing a chair stream. I got to go to bed. God bless you guys. Go say hi to Jim Bob. I'll see you later. I'm out. Peace.